Hello, and welcome back to Let Us Play, episode 4 here of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Looks like this is going to be a pretty lengthy journey here. Now I'm going to preemptively dub this episode the Cheesecake episode, because while I was recording the footage for this, I was also eating some cheesecake, so every once in a while, probably like what you're seeing right now, there might be some what seemed like lengthy pauses. That's me wolfing down a big bite of cheesecake before I get back to playing. So I think I might be going back to get the holy water. I have holy water, so it's not that. What? Oh, that's annoying. I do like the voice acting in this game. So I'm trying to go in, because I know that I have to go up eventually to kind of clear out that what appears to be the kind of final area. But as I've learned from playing this game that there's a lot of hidden stuff and things off the map, so I am really enjoying this game. I think it took a couple episodes for me to kind of get into it, kind of learn the ropes a little bit, and certainly powering up, getting some new items and stuff really helps. Excuse me. But one of the things that I really enjoy about, or am enjoying more about this style of game, as they call it, the Metroidvania, is like the sense of, you come to an area where, you can't go any further, and you're thinking like, oh, I need a special power-up or something to get through it, and so you kind of have to come back to it, and then when you finally get that power-up, you're like, it's really exciting. There's a level of excitement knowing that, okay, I know what to do next, I know where to go next, I want to go see what's going on here, there, and yonder. So that part of the game I'm really enjoying, and this game's doing a really great job. I will admit that, and maybe I'm just not playing right, but the only thing I'm a little annoyed with or unsure about is the fact that with a lot of, especially with bosses and stuff, I feel like I have to just kind of power my way through it. I feel like I just have to, what's the right word? Like, I don't really have any defensive options, and it seems like trying to dodge their attacks can be almost impossible in some ways, so it feels like I just have to, survive it and try to get in some hits. So that's the only thing so far that might be irritating me at all, but I mean, honestly, this game's a ton of fun. I don't know if it yet ranks as my favorite Castlevania, but also stuff like this can get really annoying. Like they're so low that I can't actually attack them. Thankfully, I have the. Yeah, I can use the holy water to get them. Actually, one other thing that is becoming an annoyance of mine, and I think we'll probably see it more as this goes on, is the size of your, well, not maybe the size of the inventory, but the fact that I can't get rid of things in my inventory. At least I don't know how, if I can. You know, in a lot of RPGs and stuff, you'll, as the game progresses, you'll get better and better equipment, more powerful weapons, better armor and shields and stuff. And then you just have this, you know, kind of the weaker stuff that you're never going to use, just kind of taking up space in your inventory. And there's no way, as far as I can tell, to get rid of it. I think that's, you know, I'd like to be able to sell it. You know, when you go to the librarian, you can sell gems, but that's it. You can't sell your old equipment, which, I mean, it doesn't penalize you. Like, I don't think it's going to be like, oh, your inventory's full, but it is kind of annoying when you're, you know, you just get something new and you get to scroll through like a bunch of old stuff to find the new thing. So. This does make me want to play once I'm finished. I was just seeing if that was a door. So there's 3 Game Boy Advance titles and 3 DS titles that all kind of are in this style. They're all the Metroidvania style. And I'm interested to now give those a shot once I'm finished with this. I don't know if I'll do it yet on the show. I don't know that I have a good way to capture footage from those consoles outside of using emulators, which would work for the Game Boy Advance, but wouldn't work for DS. I don't think. I'm not sure how that would work. Interesting how the sword kind of gets behind him a little bit. This is really annoying. Alright, we finally got through that. Excuse me. Yeah, we're going to want to stick with the holy water. Although, so thinking about my previous comment about how it's hard to dodge projectiles and stuff from bosses, it's just now kind of occurring to me that, you know, you can sometimes destroy them. What's that little green and white thing there? Shield potion. Like if they shoot fireballs, a lot of times you can destroy the fireballs with your sword. Probably should have gone into the save room there. My health's a little bit low. Oh well. Not sure what that little detour was about. Oh, there's this little... But I need the double jump to get to it. So full disclosure, I do record, you probably already know this based on my previous comments, but I do record the game footage separate, and then I record commentary over it. So it's not immediate. I live in a small apartment with a girlfriend, so the idea of just sitting there and talking to myself, I don't know, just doesn't sit right with me for some reason. I find these sections really annoying with all the zombies, but they are homages to the original Castlevania. There may be other ones, but I know this is kind of like the original, the first one when you're coming in the castle. They don't come out of the floor though. That's what I think. What irritates me is that they come out of the floor. So. In this room particularly, because of that, I could probably turn it off. Because of that relic that displays the enemy name, I can't actually see when the, like, you can kind of see when they're going to pop up, but with that I can't really see. So, added annoyance. I only have 4 health, so I probably should visit this save room. This might have been a cheesecake break, everybody. I can't guarantee that it wasn't. Might be an interesting band name, Cheesecake Break. Alright, so we're all healed up. I wonder if the game, it must catalog how often you save or how much you save. This was definitely a cheesecake break. I wonder if it like rewards you for doing, or if people do like no save runs. Sorry if you heard that burp. Yeah, I'm not gonna get that without the double jump. Trying to just fill in the map a little more, because I'm thinking if I have to go, stupid knife pickup. I think if I go all the way up top, that's kind of like the final bit of the map. So, and I'm not sure how it works. Like, I know in this game you like seem like you finish it, but then you have to explore like a dark version or like an upside down version or something of the castle. So I'm not sure how easy it is to go back and forth, or if you can. I imagine you can. It's probably like Ocarina of Time somehow. And you can kind of go back and forth between adult Link and kid Link, and explore things. Take away this ball and chain. For my Social Distortion fans out there. I was also watching a video by My Life in Gaming, which is a great YouTube channel if you're into gaming, and specifically they focus a lot on how to get the best picture out of your consoles and stuff, and using, you know, RGB and that sort of thing. So if you're into that sort of thing, you're into the really technical aspects of gaming and how to get the absolute best picture and sound quality out of your consoles, then that's really a good channel to subscribe to. But they talk about this game and Rondo of Blood and the best ways to play them, and they mentioned this version, which is the Xbox 360 version, playing on an Xbox One. And they mentioned that there's I didn't even notice it, but by default there's like a smoothing filter on, kind of like what you'd see in like an emulator. And I didn't notice it until they mentioned it, and then I did notice it, but just for the sake of consistency, I think for the remainder of the playthrough we're going to leave that filter on. So if you're used to the PlayStation version, you're like, hey, these graphics look way smoother than I remember. That's why. And PlayStation graphics look really jaggy, so so the smoothing filter actually probably helps. This room I'm struggling to understand a little bit. It's always different times, and then that thing will open or close. I can't quite get up there yet. You know, listening to this game in headphones, like, Music's really good. I love that little bass line you can hear. I just visited a friend recently, had a little dog play date, and he's got like this studio, like music recording studio in his house. Small, but you know, pretty nice. But we were like listening to music on like his studio monitors, and it's just amazing to me the like just the little details that you might not hear. Like we're listening to Queen, and there's like just little bass accents and stuff that was going on that I like. I mean, these are songs I've heard a million times, but never heard that part before. I think a big one too. A friend of mine, a different friend, was showing me like Led Zeppelin. Like if you listen to, I think it's like Immigrant Song or whatever. John Paul Jones is like doing this ripping bass line that I've never heard before. But when I really sat and listened to it, it's like, oh, he's an amazing musician. Still haven't quite figured out the usefulness of that. The dog. Or I guess it's a wolf. I haven't been in this room yet, huh? Oh, we just opened something. I think we just opened up those pink areas. Huzzah! There's a thingy. Library card. That was annoying trying to see through the HUD there to be able to jump up. What's down here? Of course, the other interesting, well, I don't know if it's necessarily a downside, but the other part of these games is when I come to a new area like this, I'm like, oh, I get like indecisive. I'm like, should I go back up there and try to explore a little bit, or should I go explore this area I just found? I'm going to be 100% honest with you folks. I don't really know what the point of all that was. Eventually I'd like to record these live. Eventually I'd like to, get a nice setup where I can just sit and do these in one take rather than record commentary after the fact. Because I straight up have no idea what that was all about. So I can hit it, but I can't get it. I need the double jump, I think. Oh, these jerks. It's like, is it Friday the 13th where Kevin Bacon gets impaled by a spear on the bed? This is just annoying. Level up. Is that a baby? This might be a cheesecake break. Nope, I guess not. If it was a quick one. I think I mentioned before, I may have actually asked this question before on the show. I remember they did this thing with, it was Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, and Super Metroid, where they like there's randomizers that'll move the items around in each game. I think there was like something where they were able to, fight here. This silly rim. Anyways, they do those randomizers, and they had done one where it kind of crossed over between both games, where like you'd have to play Super Metroid, I think, to get items for Link to the Past, and then you have to go play Link to the Past to get items for Super Metroid. I wonder if they've done that with like Super Metroid in this game. That wasn't too bad. Seems like a no-brainer to me. Now the water hurts you. I don't know if it's because it's cold or what the deal is, but the water does hurt you. Oh, this is a bad idea. Uh-oh. Oh, we survived with 5 health. Pot roast. Probably should use that pot roast. Good job, me. Use that pot roast. Oh, I think it's down. Like, look at all these swords, like the red rust and the... I wish I could get rid of them, but I don't know how to do it. I like how I have to pick up the item. I guess it makes some sense. But I have to pick up the item, add it to my inventory, equip it, use it so that I drop it, and then pick it up again, and that's how I eat it. Oh, this is going to be a thing. Holy water. I will say overall, I think the boss battles in this game are easier than previous Castlevanias. I mean, maybe not as easy as the Medusa from Castlevania 1, but pretty easy. Or apparently the boss battles in Castlevania 2. I never played that one. I heard it's kind of awful, but time up the holy water to get that last head there. Turned into a wolf for some reason. Give me that. Give me that life max up. And a crystal cloak. Semi-invisible cape. Now we go get the item over here. Scimitar. Not as good as my saber. Looks like there's a hole there. Something. Yeah, we're gonna save first and be cautious. Data saved. Now let's investigate this area here. Shiitake. Got him. Do, do. They made a soundtrack album of this, and they might have. I might buy it. Is that a baby noise? I thought I heard the baby again. Am I the only one hearing that? This is annoying. Oh, this is fun. We're all having fun. Like, what is that? Why does the spear guard make a baby noise when he dies? Listen for it here. Listen for it. Is that not a baby? Am I out of my mind? should call him the Gerber guard, not the spear guard. Because baby food. What do we got going on here? See, the bone archer just dies. He's like, I'm dead. It's kind of annoying how... What are we doing? Oh, we're trying to kill him. It is kind of annoying how if you fall off the screen, it gets annoying. You fall off the screen and then the enemies respawn. Of course, that one's my own fault. Got him. Alright, we got some hearts there. Let's see what's in here. Dang, sword power up. Dagger, I think it's the dagger. I don't think it's a sword. These toads are way more annoying than they should be. Water hurts you. I literally can't hit that frog. The Great Master Alucard gets bullied off screen by a frog. I am the son of Dracula. I get bullied by a frog. Did he just eat my holy water? Oh, I hit that one. I think the pentagram destroys like all enemies on screen or something like that. Something over there. Life max up.
I'll take you to a place which might be interesting for you.
And oh no. This is not good. This is very bad. And that might be all she wrote, fellas. Still gonna... Oh. And there it is. That screen is getting fewer and further in between, so that's always good. That was definitely a cheesecake break. Oh, I'm just shoveling cheesecake in my mouth right now. And we're back. I gotta retrace my steps a little bit here. It's funny if you look at the on the status screen there, it shows like how long you've played. It's, I don't know how long it is right now, maybe like an hour or two. It's very small considering how long I've actually played, but I think it's because it's not counting all the times that I've like died, game over, and started again. So I'm wondering if like if you use sites like How Long to Beat and that sort of thing, and they record like what's your final, how long it took you to beat the game. I'm wondering if, I'm sure it's not accounting for all the times you died and whatever else, so. One of the hard things to judge. Because if you think about games like something like Contra or something like that, like if I ever try to do that on this channel, I'd have to think about like, okay, but I know it only says 20 minutes or half hour, an hour, however long it is, but how much time am I going to spend dying and retrying, you know? It's also why I try to save fairly often when I'm playing this game, just so I don't have to subject you, the viewer, to too much retracing of my steps. them both. Look at these jerks. Nope. Nope. Oh wait, what are we gonna do here? Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, they all drowned. Stupid frog. Those frogs are like Scrappy-Doo from the Scooby-Doo series. Like, come at me, bro. Let's do it. You can't hit me. Or like Yoda in Soul Calibur 4? Is that the one that Yoda was in? Or was it Soul Calibur 2 had Link, Heihachi, and Spawn, I believe. 3 came out at the end of the PS2. Yeah, and then I think 4 came out for the 360 and PS3 and all that, and I'm pretty sure Yoda was in it, and I'm pretty sure he was a pain in the butt. Because he's like an inch tall. It's kind of like Oddjob. Never really got too much into the Soul Calibur games. I don't know if y'all out there like them, but I don't know what it is. Something about it just never really... I don't know if it's the fact that it's weapons based or... I actually have the like OG Soul Calibur game for PlayStation. It's Soul... I think it's called Soul Edge or something. Like, I think Soul Calibur came out on the Dreamcast, if I'm not mistaken. But Soul Edge came out for the PlayStation. It's kind of like the precursor sort of series or sort of game. It's not a series. I've been thinking about getting into the Dreamcast. I don't know if I will or not. There's a lot of things I say I want to get into. Same thing with the TurboGrafx. They're coming out with it. I just got the Sega Genesis mini console, which is awesome. But they're doing one for the TurboGrafx, which is supposed to have like 50 games on it or something, including actually Rondo of Blood, I'm pretty sure, which is what some consider to be the best Castlevania game. You know, it's more in the style of the older classic ones, like the 2D, just straight up action, none of the more exploratory elements that later came in the game. But it's funny, am I gonna buy all these mini consoles just because I want the Castlevania games that come with it? It's like the Super Nintendo I bought partly because you couldn't get like some of the games are just like super expensive for the Super Nintendo, like Super Metroid's one of them, Super Castlevania 4 is one of them, excuse me. Also the Ninja Turtles game, Turtles in Time. I'm wondering if these mini consoles, I wonder if they're gonna be a good thing for the collector market. Maybe we've already seen some of the effects, I'm not sure. But like, it takes someone like me, you know, I'm not a hardcore, have to play on original hardware, CRT sort of guys. I'm just not one of them. I like the kind of mixture of the classic games, but like the modern convenience of it, and, you know, especially living in small apartments and limited budget. You know, the idea of like, I'm gonna have a special TV just to play like old consoles on. I don't know. But I'm wondering if, like, because those mini consoles are out there, it's taking a lot of us out of the game. We're like, oh, this is really kind of weird, dark. You kill his owl, he gets all mad, and then you can hit him while he's distracted. But I'm wondering if it's going to level out the collector market in video games, where, like, you know, the prices are going up on everything. But because people like me want to have the games we played when we were kids, or I go beyond that. Obviously, I didn't play like this game when I was a kid. This is me kind of exploring some of the great games from the past, but, you know, I just want to play it. I don't care if it's on, you know, this is on the Xbox One. I don't care if I don't have the original PlayStation version, which probably costs like $100. So I wonder if it's going to level out the game market a little bit, so that, you know, you can buy things at normal prices. And I mean, it probably stinks if you're someone who, like, invested, like, bought a bunch of expensive classic games expecting their values to go up and then they go down. But I don't know. Just speculating on that. This was a cheesecake break. I wonder why some of them are orange and some of them have more like a pinkish purple robe or something. Alright, I'm not sure how much more we've got here. We've got about 5 minutes left on my counter. I'm going somewhere. Oh, am I going back to see the ferryman? I might be going back to see the ferry guy. Oh, I thought I had the stairs and I didn't. Oh, there's another one. The ferryman. I don't know if you guys watch JonTron at all, but there's one of the episodes where he looks at the game Clock Tower, and it's got the scissorman. Makes me laugh.
I'll take you to a place which might be interesting for you.
Is that the guy from Resident Evil 4? No, he's like the, what are you buying? What are you selling? I'd love to do some of the Resident Evil games on this. I've beaten a few of them, but like I could do Resident Evil 2, the original and the remake actually. Because I've played through the first one, but I've only really done like one of the 2 campaigns. Obtain the merman statue. Summons the oarsman. So there must be some other place that he shows up. I should figure out where that is. It's clearly I didn't need it for this. Maybe I should go inspect that area at the bottom of the outer wall where you kind of see him. Dang old bats. Dang old bats trying to kill me. I feel like I get pretty obnoxious with the map, so I'm sorry if I like look at the map too much or kind of obsess over it. But I'll like look at it and then forget, oh wait, what am I supposed to do? And man, I just keep going back and forth through this room. Interesting to see the knockback in this game. I feel like that's a thing kind of died out after the NES, because it significantly can increase the difficulty of a game. Alright, we're going up to the save room here. This might be the end of it for this episode. Yep, I think so. Well, thanks everyone for joining me for episode 4. We will certainly be back with episode 5 and more episodes after that. But hopefully next episode will maybe be a little more focused, a little more productive. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.